Hello everyone and welcome back to Stranglehold on the Xbox 360. I am One Wild Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be finally, I swear to you, this time I've looked ahead in the editing, finally finishing off this mission. We are going to be moving into the next mission, and we're actually going to be beating that as well, folks. So yeah, a lot of progression is finally going to be occurring this part. But anyway, coming up is actually well, first things first, we're being bombarded by tons of enemies, and as you can see, we're actually in a shipyard this time, folks, which means we need to go from ship to ship, and you'll see a bunch of very big, obvious, glowy things on a lot of these red boats. Now, those glowy things, well, when the game gives us our updated objectives, we're going to find out what we're meant to be doing. But for now, let's just clear out all the enemies we see. And when did we pick up submachine guns? That I mind. I like my SMGs. It's a pretty useful weapon. It's not as powerful as the assault rifle, but in terms... Oh wait, we already been given the mission objective? Okay. So in that case, we need to go to each of these boats and explode them by just basically running into each red boat, finding the big glowy button, put a bomb on the glowy button, Bob's your uncle. So yeah. So we have 4 vessels in total to take down. The first one's already done. Now, whenever you go close to the big glowy button it's not really a button, big glowy thing to put the bomb on, it will automatically be chucked on, and you'll have a set amount of time to leave the boat. If you take too long, you'll explode and you will die. So don't take too long. That's the main thing by here. Now, whenever you get close to each of these boats, you will be bombarded by enemy fire, and trust me, it can be quite a bit annoying. That boat there, I believe that's the last boat we'll be going to, so we won't be heading to that one just yet, folks. So, or will we? I can't actually... Nope, that's one we go to later on. I get all the boats mixed up the order, because it's a bit awkward to traverse this shipyard to get onto each of the red boats to try and kill all the enemies on board, just because you need to learn the layout, basically. You can't simply just jump on and do anything like that. You need to go a specific route, and it can be quite awkward. I'm gonna be honest with you. It can be quite awkward your first time playing. When you know what you're doing, though, you get through it just fine. It's pretty easy peasy. Whoa, hello. Also, one thing I kind of like about this game as well is actually it's got real-time damage. If you take a shot to like the chest or something, you'll actually have blood on your chest. I don't know, I just like that. It's not nearly as advanced to say X-Men Origins Wolverine is, where in X-Men Origins Wolverine, if you get shot, you can actually see the skin rip and you can see the inside of his body. But honestly, considering the fact that Tequila here doesn't have the ability to regenerate health, yeah, I'm kind of glad it didn't go that advanced, because I'll always be looking at a skeleton by the end of the game, you know?
Tequila. It's me again, buddy. Meet me on Wong's yacht out near the shipping hangar. I'll send a water taxi for you.
Okay, fine, we gotta go to his yacht. But first we need to take down the rest of these ships that are in the shipyard, because there's a couple of them. That's just basically what we're gonna be doing after the mission, you know? And believe it or not, it's gonna... Well, obviously it's gonna lead into the 3rd mission of the game, because, you know. But who is this Wong fellow, eh? Well, this Wong fellow is, he's got a bit of a history to Tequila, and those of you who watched Hardboiled, I don't think he was in Hardboiled. I can't remember him being in Hardboiled, but... Basically, events have occurred beforehand, which, causes Tequila and Wong to have a bit of a history. We're going to see what that history is before long, but I'm not going to spoil it. Again, you know, I want to leave some surprise. I am very thankful for the fact, though, whenever that the game basically goes automatically into slow-mo mode whenever you go behind cover and you aim at people. Seriously, the slow-mo mode is so useful just to be able to see enemies and shoot them. I can't stress enough how much you want to abuse the slow-motion abilities. Whoa, that's some mighty big frame rate drops. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the most stable game in the world. But yeah, for the most part, everything runs fine-ish.
This is Lee. Tequila. We need paramedics and uniforms out at the flotilla now. Did someone promote you to captain? I said I wanted you back at HQ.
Make the call. Fire me later. I've got a boat to board and search.
What boat? What are you doing?
Got the lead on Jimmy Wong, and I want to know if he is behind this war.
I told you to stay the hell away from this investigation. If you don't start listening to me, Tequila...
Try me later!
That was not nearly convincing enough, Tequila. He should have went... Breaker! Up! You know? Ah, God. I kind of like Tequila, though. He's a very renegade cop, in the traditional sense that he just doesn't care about the rules. Granted, if this was real life, he would have been fired, like, at the start of the game. If this was real life, but, let's face it, in real life, he'd also had to fill out a ridiculous amount of paperwork concerning the amount of goons he's killing, so, you know, there's that. See, it makes me feel really sorry for people who become cops because of these action movies and games, because they watch these action movies and games and becomes a cop. And then they realize, oh god, life isn't nearly as glamorous as it is in the games and whatnot, because, well, you have to worry about paperwork and you have to do things by the book. You can't be a renegade cop in real life, because otherwise you lose your job. But I digress. Whee! Riveting gameplay! Although, one thing that really confused me is the momentum when he's on, when you're on the zip lines, because you don't zip down. Zip down, get it? Because you're on zip lines. I'm sorry. We don't zip down ultra fast, you know, like you'd expect. You move very, very slowly down the zip line. It's quite weird, actually. There we go, there's the last bomb placed. It's right on the deck of the ship, so we need to get out of here quickly. Now, like I said, the bomb will explode after a certain amount of time, so you get just enough time to dive out and it'll explode. Now, the bombs will automatically explode as soon as you get off the ship and far enough away, so don't worry about that. You're not likely to die from them, if you get off in time anyway.
Mr. Wong wants to talk to you.
Then let's go see him. You are big enough to have a street address.
The name is Da Peng. Sit.
We got bad history. I know.
Then why you're trying to kill me?
If I wanted you dead, you already would be. Today, I need your help. Here's a look I haven't seen on your face a lot. Confusion. Let me clear it up for you. The Golden Cane put out the hit on your cop, not Dragonclaw. They made it look like me by leaving my I-9 crew's signature.
Ah, I guess all is forgiven.
Don't be a smartass. I ain't looking for a hug from no cop. Are you gonna listen or mouth off?
I'll smoke. You talk.
Young Gee's Golden Cane partnered up with a Russian crew out of Chicago. Damon Zakharov and his boys. They want Hong Kong. My territory.
Take them out. You got the muscle.
Yes, I got the guns and muscle, but the Zakharovs have them.
Please, Father, do what they ask. You have all the money you need. Tico and I just want to live the lives we should have had.
There, Mr. Wong.
Proof of life. Your daughter and granddaughter.
Turn it
Let
off.
me now describe what will happen if...
So Billy named her Tico.
After you. Zakharov took him from the house in Chicago 2 weeks ago.
How come you haven't sent anyone to chop him into pieces and bring Billy and Tico home?
If I send a crew out of Hong Kong, red flags go up all over. The FBI would be waiting at the airport. And Zakharov made it real clear that if I move against Golden Cane, Billy and Tico die. So I've got to send someone good. Someone clean, someone the cops won't watch. And someone who cares enough about the outcome to die getting it done. It's gotta be you.
You are the one who took him away from me. I never even held Tico in my arms. And I haven't heard from Billy since. 18 years. Not a phone call, not a postcard.
I told her not to. She was afraid of me then. By the time we made up, she was afraid you wouldn't forgive her.
Know how many times I thought of killing you?
Probably lots.
And you've got the guts to ask me to bring them back for you? How do you live with yourself?
I'm used to me. Don't. I'll take that as a yes. I can't be caught mixed up in this. Don't let them take the hangar.
Guess we're partners again.
Didn't know you were deep cover in Stranglehold.
There's lots you don't know. Right now, we've got to blow this place to hell. Did you find the C4?
I don't think Wong will like that.
Either we turn it into matchsticks, or Golden Cane takes off with 1,000 kilos of heroin. I got the spots marked inside where you need to place the charges.
Oh, good to know you are still on our side.
Once a partner, always a partner, right? Get it done, and a police boat will pick you up at the dock.
I didn't know the police had holographic imagery, and I have to apologize, folks. I was wrong. I thought this was a mission after the one we were on, but it's still classified as the exact same mission, so we only get the one mission done today. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. The game has the aesthetics of the level just change entirely, and I always consider this a separate mission to what we just did. But it is an extension of what we were doing a second ago. What we need to do is the same as last time. We need to find the big glowy points, which... Seriously, how do cops have the ability to put holographic projectors and where to put bombs? I don't know. But you have to go and get the big glowy points and put the explosives on the glowy points. And by here is a physics puzzle that Valve would be proud of. Basically, shoot the thingy, barrels will pop down, causing physics to happen, which will allow you to progress further, you know? Seriously, Valve would be proud. But, I digress. This stage is actually pretty easy to get through. It's very short, this section, but I can see people getting lost for one particular reason, and that is the end part. I still, to this day, do not know how you're meant to properly do the end of this mission, so, you're gonna see what I mean when I get to it. It's literally about 5 minutes away, because I always get lost in figuring out how to get through the stage every time I play, and I just sort of MacGyver my way around, doing things that I don't think the way I'm supposed to be, basically. So yeah, it can be quite tricky. Quite tricky. Anyway, by here, it's mainly a puzzle of determining, okay, I need to find the correct hole to shoot my bullets through to allow me to progress through the sequence, and the sequence can take a fair bit of time depending on how lucky you are with your looking. I always have issues trying to figure out, okay, I need to shoot through this hole here to cause an explosion. How are you meant to see that? Come on. Honestly, that's like near impossible to see. It just blends in. But after this point, this is where the level design actually gets really good. I think they started trying with the level design after this mission, really. Not that they're not really trying now. The level design, I still like it. I like this game. I've been pretty negative the past part and a half, just because, well, not this part, the previous part, purely because, well, there's a lot of things in this game that does really agitate me, but I assure you, this is one of my favorite console games on the Xbox 360. You know, it's one of my favorite games on the system. I can't really say underrated because it tends to get 80s out of 100s out of all the people who've reviewed it. So it's not really underrated. It's more not talked about that much. This is one of those mid-tier games that people sort of look over, you know? Because that's one thing I miss about the 7th generation of consoles, mid-games, you know. These days you either have AAA games or indie games, but back in the day you used to get games that were sort of mixed, like this one. It was like a AA game, I believe this one was, where the budget isn't as good, but it's still a pretty fun game, you know. It's a mid-level. It's kind of depressing because these days there's not enough games being released. There really isn't enough games being released. And I blame it purely because all the AA studios and whatnot that made games like this, that filled in the gaps between the big releases, they basically went bankrupt during the 7th gen, and it's depressing, you know, because you need more games. AAA isn't the future. Like, AAA games tend to have such a huge budget that they're actually harming the industry more than doing good with the industry, despite some of them are very fine games. Like, I enjoy Far Cry 4, for one thing. That's one game that's recently come out, despite the fact it suffers from what I consider Ubisoft syndrome. If you're wondering what I'm talking about with Ubisoft syndrome, basically it has the exact same game design as every Ubisoft game you'll ever see. Seriously, well, not every game you'll ever see, because Rayman is a platformer for one thing. Like, every modern AAA Ubisoft game that you'll ever see, I should say. Like, Far Cry 4 is the same... It is the same major design as Assassin's Creed, which has the same design as Watch Dogs. You know, all the games are open world, and they all stick to a template. Kind of makes them very too similar, but I don't want to get into another discussion about game design, because I got a weird feeling the last one I was talking about kind of probably annoyed people, you know. It's not my fault. I like my games to not be focusing on the cinematic aspects, you know. I like cutscenes. I love cutscenes in games, you know. I really do love cutscenes when they happen, but I just don't think cutscenes should have anything to do with the actual game itself, you know. They should be an alternate bonus feature. But that's enough I'm going to say on the matter, because I don't want to get into another rant. And this Goomba here is quite possibly one of the more annoying enemies in the game, just because you can't use a precision aim on him for some reason. I don't know, it's just every single time I try to, it fails. It sort of just teleports back. It's quite annoying. But anyway, what we missed out on is actually what we're meant to do in order to finish the stage properly, because there's actually a certain thing we needed to blow up in that one boat we just passed, and it's nigh impossible to see. In fact, I don't even think I destroy it the way I'm meant to. You know, I MacGyver my way to destroy the thing that allows me to progress further. So you'll see what I mean in a bit, because I basically completely passed it. Basically, it's on this platform where that enemy is. You might see a yellow thing behind him when I shot him there. Essentially, that's the... Jesus Christ, is that a washing machine? Oh, I feel sorry for that guy. Basically, it's very easy to miss what you're meant to get, you know? But that's beside the point. Let's just continue on with this. Although I do like how the game does have a lot of variety. Now, right now, it looks like we've been in the same area for quite a while. You know, shipyards, so boats, water, all that good jazz. Each mission looks nothing like the previous mission. Like, the next mission we're going into will be nothing like this mission, you know. Every mission is unique in the way it looks, in the way it feels, and in what you gotta do. Like, it's got missions later on where we have to do some James Bond laser dodging stuff, you know. I like the variety, I gotta say that. The gameplay doesn't really get too much variety, which is one of the lower points of the game, I have to be honest. But I do like the game. I think it's fun, I think it's a good time, and honestly, I recommend people to play it. That's all I got to say about that. But anyway, I do get kind of lost by here, and The music that's playing in the background right now, I honestly love this tune. It's such a good upbeat tune, you know, it's actually quite calming. Unfortunately though, the music disappears when all the enemies get gone. They get gone. When all the enemies disappear, the music stops for some reason, which... Then it goes to this generic dun 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 music, but that's beside the point. Anyway, this was what I was on about, because now I've basically done every bomb in the area. There's an explosive barrel. You can just about see it. I'm shooting at it right now. I don't know how you're meant to get to that. I don't know how you're meant to officially hit it. I just assume I was doing it the right way. But if you try and precision shot in there, your bullet won't go through. So you have to do a manual shot through those grates. I don't know if it's the official way to do it or if I'm just MacGyvering my way around, but yeah. It can be quite awkward to get past this stage sometimes, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of this last sequence, just because it's so cryptic on where you're meant to go.
I told you to stay out of it.
And I told you I need a backup. I just learned Jerry's been undercover with Dragonclaw. That means you have to know about Billy and Tico, and didn't bother to tell me.
I was doing you a favor. I knew if you got involved, things might just...
What? End like this? Keep it. I'll be further out of bounds before this is finished.
Young and his crew are at the Mega working out some deal, and the I-9s are about to crash the party. Seems they're pissed off about having our dead cop pinned on them. They're looking for payback.
I need Young alive. Wong can use him with the Russians to get Billy and Tico back. Meet me at the Mega. Billy. Afraid to be seen with a cop?
No. Of my father seeing us together. He warned us once.
Are you sorry you fell in love with me?
Never, but I'm frightened. It's not just the two of us anymore.
What are you saying?
We're going to have a child.
We are? That's great.
No. It's terrible. If my father finds out, he'll kill us all.
Even Jimmy Wong wouldn't kill his own grandchild.
You don't know him the way I do.
Then come away with me.
He'll find us.
No, he won't. We'll go far away. America, Europe, the back end of the world. I don't care.
When?
Tonight, meet me at the airport. I'll take care of everything.
Yes.
And there we go, people. And that long-ass mission that spawned 3 parts, yeah, we got an A rank for it. Literally. That's insane. How... but anyway, with that, folks, that's it for this part. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. When we return next time, we're going to be visiting the casino. So, I'll catch you all then. So thanks for watching. I'll see you after. Bye!